YouTube, we are back. Weekly V, NFT.NYC week. I think this is loaded. I hope you enjoy it. I miss you all tremendously. If you do not love losing, you lost.
I feel I can't lose. I feel I can't lose. I'm
And to be very frank with you, economics are not my driver. So much of my behavior is countercultural for a businessman, hence the book you're reading. The argument I'm trying to make is if you actually cared about good things, I have a funny feeling all these things that all of you want has a much better chance of getting there. Like I'm the alpha of my hypothesis. But then what makes it feel like it has validity is I'm not just looking at me, I'm watching very carefully and I'm like, wait a minute, the nice people actually are winning long term. Bad people can win in the short term, but reputation matters. Look what's going on in our society. We're having a massive collective day of reckoning with bad behavior, right? And I will spend the rest of my life trying to change popular culture around this issue. I think the number one line on a Bill of Rights of a leader is you must eliminate fear from your team. It's why kind candor really fucked with me. When it got clear as fuck that my inability to be candorous to people actually created fear in my companies because people didn't know if they would get fired out of nowhere, it was the lowest point of my professional career because I realized I had failed in my ambition to eliminate fear. I should have never well listen, that's unfair. I grew up in a way DNA-wise, parenting and circumstance and the way I naturally navigated that really demonized confrontation. And I've refined it now. Undressing somebody inappropriately in a room is very different than not being able to go to somebody in a separate meeting, sit down, and respectfully and kindly deliver critical feedback. But I viewed all critical feedback as negative because most of what I saw with critical feedback in my youth was delivered so poorly that I was unable to dissect the vessel delivering the feedback from the value of feedback.
Thank you.
See you, brother.
Thank you, man.
Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Okay. Yeah, it was 12.
Right,
this is it. So yeah, 12 DeBrosses used to be a co-working space called Sunshine Suites, and this is where VaynerMedia started. Mike Boyd's interviews from that viral clip, put it right here right now if we're doing a Daily V, of like Mac Miller interviews were done in there.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just so like all these interactions, all this time. This is really the first time I felt like this since 2007. Austin in a confined area for South by is probably a little bit better because it's just New York's so fucking big and it's all over. But it's the same feeling. Like meeting people that you met on Twitter in real life back then was the first time that ever happened. And like the way the NFT macro ecosystem's working is very similar to Web 2. Different because we're more mature. It's like the internet is more mature, but it's still the same feeling of like, wow, I've like really interacted with these people. I really kind of, it's a real community, and now we're meeting in real life. This is amazing.
1979. It's almost mint. There's a little like ding.
This is for me?
Yes.
I'm gonna put this on my shelf.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear, Gary.
D-Rock, make sure I do that. D-Rock just informed me that this is weekly V, not daily V, so I apologize for the prior reference. The reason I came so hard to NFTs is because the sports card industry was pushing me out because they thought I was pumping and dumping when I didn't sell a single fucking sports card. With this world, you could follow me. You could see my behaviors. So I'm like, this is fucking awesome. This is transparency. You could see what I'm doing. It's all right there. Fuck you. I would never ruin my fucking reputation to make $8 on a fucking Kevin Durant rookie card. You fucking idiot. I made enough money long ago. You think I'm really gonna pump some fucking bullshit PFP project to make $80,000 in 24 hours, you fucking asshole? I'm not. And I know a lot of people do, but that's why I came to this world, but I don't want the power. I don't. I do not want it. There's nothing in it for me. Oh, this is really cool. because people have invested extraordinary levels of money into your art. Do you feel like you have to execute for the next years to justify those costs? And does that weigh on you? Like, how does that sit with people?
There is pressure, but it's not hard for me because at the end of the day, I was doing this for free for 20 years. I was getting up and trying really fucking hard to make digital art the best I could for 20 years. Before anybody gave a shit, before anybody would pay for it. And so that's where it was like, wait, so now people are gonna pay a lot now? And so I think at the end of the day, all I can do is get up and try really fucking hard, and that's it. And like, that's what I was doing before, and that's what I'm doing now. And so that's it, like, that's all
I
I
love
need.
that. Seriously. My old friend.
You look exactly the same.
That's not true, but it's great to see you. Backstage NFT.NYC.
I have cream in my coffee today.
You have cream in your pocket?
And coffee.
Oh, and coffee. Shit got very weird. New York, what's good? When it's on the pre-dawn of the moment, that's when I jump. Kevin Rose and I are talking, and he's thanking me because I got him to buy some Jordan rookies at a really low price, and we're really nerding it the fuck out. And then he goes, "Do you have a punk?" And I'm like, "What's a punk?" And he dropped 3 minutes on CryptoPunks. I had to run because the family something. And then that night started a 45 to 75 hour journey over a 1 week period where I consumed everything about CryptoPunks. And by mid-January, I decided that I was gonna buy a lot of them. At that point, because of what I was already doing, I had felt we were close to the time.
So you felt December last year was the pre-dawn.
Yes.
And then you went all in.
All in.
What about a couple of questions from the audience and then we'll move on.
Gary, what's up? Tomorrow I'm going to be minting a Crypto New Yorker, and I nominated you to join our community. The community voted, and you won. If you're free, I would love to bring you.
What time? 3?
Wow.
Don't clap. It's highly unlikely. Fine.
Slide with me and you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me.
On how to get above all the noise that's out here, all this crap that's everywhere. Is there any, like, for someone just starting out, or is it just...
I think it's executing within Discord and Twitter.
Okay.
And it's like, you know, everybody sees this version of me.
Yeah.
Nobody saw the 2007 version of me that lived on Twitter for 11 hours a day for 4 years. It's always the reps you put in. The way to break above the noise is to put in the work.
And get fucking lucky.
You know what's funny? I think, yeah, look, I think luck...
I think the media underreports the luck factor.
I think luck is real, but I think luck is an incredibly dangerous thing to attach yourself to because then it becomes your excuse. Look, I was born in the Soviet Union. I'm lucky to even be in this country.
Right.
I'm lucky because my mom built self-esteem. Like, I believe in luck. I'm lucky that all this shit came out when I was alive. I could have been born in the 40s. But I also believe if I was born in the 40s with all the same shit, that I would own 7 fruit stands and have a good life and have a good family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't fall in love with luck. It leads to a lot of unhappiness.
I'm just saying it's underrepresented.
And I'm saying, whether it's true or not, if you have a relationship with luck that you deploy against everybody else, you will never be in a good place. Promise, brother.
Yeah.
I promise with all my fucking heart.
I hear you, bro.
Hey, coming down like precipitation. I ain't never met a limitation. Hate applying my elimination. Gotta go to Google for the information.
Bye, everybody.
Damn, what a way to start the week.
That was definitely something. I mean, that shit that I was just in, that's not comfortable for most people.
Of course not, yeah.
You take time.
I know,
People
yeah.
appreciate that, Gary.
It's the thing that somebody wants. People want to be heard.
Yeah,
and
sure.
by the way, I'm not doing it because I know they want to be heard. I'm doing it because I want to hear them. Like, that's what I'm trying to teach people. It's like, if you're not doing it for the right reason, it doesn't matter if you do the right tactics.
Sure, yeah.
I'm like spending more time on diverse artists and projects than the other stuff. That's what I can do about it. And I'm like, I'm not gonna preach people into doing shit about it, because I've come to learn at my older age, that shit doesn't work. That makes you feel better. The only thing I can worry about is what I do. And I have a platform where enough people watch that it may have some collateral, but like, we have to take our own fucking responsibilities. And I wanna put real effort, time, and money to just give what the reality is, which is how do you put people on second base?
Yeah.
What's up, man?
What up?
Hi, buddy.
I was doing an interview earlier, and the people who were interviewing me were like, Gary's doing like 60 interviews a day. I'm like, so there's 11 Garys roaming around.
There was somebody who genuinely once wrote me about 2 years ago a very complex, science-based email genuinely asking me if I cloned myself. And then I Googled him, and he's like this like hardcore scientist in Europe, and like really like broke it down. It was like in a weird way like the greatest compliment of all time. I have a lot of love for a lot of you that we haven't interacted with, that I know, and obviously extra love for the people I have interacted with. I just want to thank you, and more importantly, I just want to thank Avery, who runs Vayner NFT and is a major partner of mine as we embark in this new world. She's just somebody I really admire and I think should be recognized. So Avery, I'm glad you're here. Talk, eat. What was really fun about that vlog is I'm really trying to be thoughtful about giving roses to people while they're here. And what's great about weeks like NFT.NYC is people are in town. In a world where everyone's busy, getting 15 minutes scheduled together is fucking impossible. So it's nice for the serendipity and get to give some love, and that's like so important to give love.
So heard you, don't say none when I hit a curve. You sip my tea like it's herbal. Watch it come back full circle. Knew this life was eternal when I hopped over hurdles. I so universal, you see me with my circle. Had to listen, man, listen. This thing right here wasn't given. I'm whipping this to precision. Before you talk, homie, listen. They love me for my ambition. Paper chase, palm itching. I brag different. The flow ignorant. Got them hooked, they kept fishing. How's it going?
Hey Mark, what's up, brother? One of the reasons it was very easy for me when I really dug in late last year to believe in this was actually because of Farmville on Facebook. There was two things that happened to me during that era. Farmville on Facebook, oh my God, people are buying these digital sheep because they want the social currency to show their friends they're good at it. And then Zay Frank, I don't know if you remember Zay Frank, remember? Zay Frank, who's one of the first video bloggers, he had people buy virtual ducks as little tip jars and have their name hover over it. And those were the first times I was like, oh my God, people are gonna buy virtual things, virtual currency. In my book, Thank You Economy, I talk a lot about virtual currency in 2010, 11. Was it natural for you to believe in what's happening right now with NFTs because of the things like Farmville that happened on your platform?
You know, I hadn't really thought before you raised it about, you know, some of the early Farmville experiences or some of the stuff from a decade ago. But I think you're right that there is a clear through line, right? Both between the kind of social interactions that people have and the types of commerce. And, you know, obviously there's more technology now that can make it more interoperable and that can, you know, give people more rights over the goods that they have. And, you know, on the AR and VR side, making it so people can feel a more realistic sense of connection. But I think you're right that a lot of these concepts are not fundamentally new. They're sort of the next iteration on just dynamics that are evergreen and that are just always going to be and always have been very important to people.
All right, Gary.
Talk to you. See ya.
Flip this, Garyvee fans. Here's what you don't see.
August 13, Paul versus Vaynerchuk. What's good? My man.
How are you, bro?
I'm great, Elliot.
I was just so excited about the space, and like I got in heavy, and then I pulled myself back from it, and I was like, do I want that? Like, do I?
It's a good question.
It's a like rhetorical, moral question for me, where it's like, do I get involved and build that world, or do I just build myself and just like disregard that and be happy with regardless what happens. Because I don't want the chase for the chase. I want the chase for love. Like, does it make sense?
Of course it does. I'm following completely.
So how did you do it personally?
It's more intense for me. The thing that kind of makes everything palpable for me is good intent. I want nothing bad for anybody. I want to make myself happy. I want to create.
What's the intent?
The intent is to enjoy my daily process and for me. And then because I'm good, I can give.
I don't wanna feel it.
Yeah, this is my office. I got all my tchotchkes. A lot of this stuff was kind of like why I think the NFT thing came so natural to me. It's kind of been the way I've always saw the world.
Makes a difference. One more sip and I'ma fix it. Out my body when I'm tempted. I told her one more, she and me say.
I do believe there will be many NFTs given as gifts this holiday season. We all saw when like the email with like a gift card attachment from Amazon or Apple was the gift. I do think we'll see the first dozens, thousands, hundreds of people waking up Christmas morning and their friend or relative is like, hey, check your MetaMask or your OpenSea account, and boom, there's the gift. 50,000 people getting an NFT this holiday is actually a remarkable feat considering pretty much nobody on earth knew what it was a year ago, but in the scheme of 330 million Americans or whatever the number is these days, still relatively small. But I think we get together a year from today, that number is gonna be hundreds of thousands potentially.
Rain coming down, but it is not purple today. Came a long way from stacking and rolling that change. And all I ever wanted was some real love. Then I iced it on my heart, I watched it build up. My bro, he stayed with Tuesday Bob to build up. And I feel on inside, don't wanna feel it. So I pour up inside my cup and I just sip till I can't feel it. Ooh, I know it won't solve my problem, but I know it makes a difference. One more sip and I'ma fix it. Out my body when I'm tempted. I told her one more, she hear me say you quit.
The thing that really stands out for me in the difference of Web 2 and Web 3 with brands is in Web 2, everyone in the audience was building on top of communication, not consumerization. So it was about how we communicated. So when brands came in, there was a lot of pushback because it was business. In this space, unless you're a hypocrite, I think we can all agree, way too much energy is about the financial part, which I think is a vulnerability for our space right now. If you look very carefully, 80% of the fuckers in this space right now are day trading digital assets. And so, there's nothing wrong with that. I love a good garage sale. But what it does is actually gives brands subconscious more room to do things, because most people realize they're having a lot of business DNA in what they're doing as well. And if brands play it right, they can benefit from that a lot more than what happened in 06 when it was a completely different conversation. And I think that lends itself to a huge opportunity to all of you. Much like I've told you in the content about getting to influencers on DM, I still believe that this is so hot and there's so much momentum that there's somebody who literally launched a project 3 weeks ago that can make a JV with a national bubblegum brand or a cereal brand. And I hope this gave you some insight to how they're thinking. And I hope everybody here has a tremendous time this week. And I hope everybody follows my Twitter tonight, because I'm throwing a secret wine party, which I haven't done in a decade. I've got a fuckload of wine. I have no idea where I'm doing it. And as soon as I find a spot, I'm tweeting it out. So I hope I see every one of you fucking people tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you. During my talk and asked me to come, and I said yes, and so I'm like, fuck, I have to now come.
Yeah, I appreciate it. That's high integrity, bro. You're a fucking busy man.
much to have you here.
Thank you.
It's the first IRL mint of your life, am I right?
Firm.
What does that mean for the future of this space, in your opinion, right now? Go.
That other people will do it too.
Why?
Because it makes sense, right? Because gamification of our society will happen with this infrastructure, because if you can't get this, if you don't come, well then you can't get it. Thus, people will come. What that will do is lead to organizations, whether for-profit, non-profit, and many other things, to realize that's how humans behave, and thus doing it. No different than credit card points and airline points, and the millions of other things humans done for a long time, except now, on a decentralized, authentic, transparent environment. This is fucking obvious. Figure it out.
I was struggling to pay my rent. I have 2 kids, and now I'm the head of a fund that is $10 million. And it's because of you. And I'm holding, and I'm buying, and I'm doing this because of you. And
Which bee friend do you have?
The perfect Persian cat.
Ooh, I just got goosebumps.
My son clicked on the button, and it was my first ever NFT. Thank you so much for everything. I swear to God, I'm gonna repay you by sharing the love. That's what I'll be doing. That's what I'll be doing.
Real pleasure.
Set goals as a creator without limiting myself, but that are practical.
Give me a for instance. I want to make sure I'm capturing your essence.
If say I want to have 1 million subscribers by the end of next year.
That's already a very dangerous framework, because it's an arbitrary number. Like, why not 2? Why not 750,000? To me, the way to think about that is, I'm going to do these things that I want to do, that I also think will bring value to them, and then I have to let the chips fall to where they be, whether it's 1 million, 500,000, or 4 million. Because the second you create those arbitrary goals, you become the prisoner to it.
Obsessed with the numbers.
You're the prisoner. You created a jail for yourself for no fucking reason, my guy.
Yeah,
because it's still awesome to have ambition.
Of course.
I have unlimited ambition. I just don't want to make it something arbitrary and fucking something that like can only cause anxiety.
If they want the smoke, then yeah, it's no jokes, boy, it's up. In the end zone, that's a TD, we finessing Chuck. Filling up the stat sheets and they knowing that's a plus. Back to back, highlight plays, all my moves is tough. Watch them all die out, I've been killing.
All right. Who wants shirt? What's good? What's good?
Can I get fresh off the beer?
Let's go!
They be betting all us calling plays out the books. Little bit of prayer, hard work, that's all it took.
But what's the problem with being successful at 39 instead of 26?
I think the biggest issue for me is I really want to give back to my parents, because
That's fair. But don't you think your parents would be more upset if you were anxious and unhappy in the process of potentially even burning yourself out because you were so impatient to try to help them, it burnt yourself down?
Yeah, I think they would be sad.
I think they'd be sad too. So wait, I got a message.
Cool.
Be patient.
Cool. Thank you.
How can I like practically move forward with this mindset of like, this is my future, this is my goal that I want to like, I fell in love with.
What's stopping you?
Developers, and like not even developers, just the idea that
Who's a developer?
I got in this space a couple months ago.
She's a developer. There we go. We're good. Next. The reason I did that was you can find a developer. The developers aren't the problem. The problem is either a lack of patience or a lack of confidence. And the lack of confidence usually comes from actually caring what everybody here thinks. Well, then if you don't give a fuck, then just do it.
Appreciate you, man.
Got you.
Can I get a picture with you?
You can.
I just want a quick question with you about just music. Like, I'm an artist myself, trying to get it out here in the NFT spaces. Just one advice that you would recommend, like just
put as much music on TikTok as humanly possible. Worry about the fucking blockchain later. Get leverage of having a community. Everything will work itself out. TikTok window for virality is going to close in the next 2 years. Fucking go as hard as you can on that platform.
Gotcha.
Got it?
Gotcha. Can I just get a quick picture with you, brother?
Gotcha.
Fuck, I look like stressing. I be finessing. Dolo in my section. Built like a blessing. Fuck, I look like stressing. I be finessing.
Last year I was never thinking we'd be doing this.
It's blue tints on my hundreds. Life been going how I want it. Big bands like a
main event, already paid the rent. Feeling like winning my favorite shit, boy, I was made for this. Flex mode on gym rat, I been that young legend, oh.
Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Anything you want to end the video with?
That was fucking crazy. Props and Drops Nation, what is good? There's a lot of kids in the space right now who are the champion of NFTs in their family and friend network. All their families and friends told them it was a scam and bullshit and garbage, and they've won. They look like the winner. If what happened with internet stocks in 1999 happens with NFTs, where everything loses 80% of its value because of a crash, they now are the loser. So now the narrative changes. This is what happened with the internet, by the way. This is what they said about Facebook stock. This is what they said about Snapchat stock. This happens. My concern is these are kids who are incredibly insecure, whose entire self-esteem is wrapped up right now into their winning in NFT land. If and when it crashes, will they have the stability emotionally to deal with not only, oh my God, 80% of my net worth was in these 5 NFTs and now it's nothing, but can they face their circle? I'm incredibly worried about this. Hence why I keep saying over and over, be thoughtful, play with money that you can afford to lose. Don't get caught up in the FOMO, be patient. Don't overflex if you're winning right now with your friends, because then you're gonna have to reconcile with that. There's a lot of kids that don't know how to deal with success. You're shitting on your friend for 9 months, now they get promoted and they're making 30K more, and your fucking snail and fucking raccoon went from 80K to 4K. This is very fucking important talk. Discord was good. First access of VFriends happening right now. Say what's up.
What's going on, Discord?
Tell them who you are.
Alec Hansen, Modern Living Podcast Panther holder.
The first access token being executed, it's a podcast Panther. Why is perspective important? Because it's your actual life. Nobody's happy. Democrats not happy, Republicans not happy. 20-year-olds not happy, 60-year-olds not happy. You know why this is happening, right? Because prosperity is the gateway to anxiety. People have it too good. When you're fighting for food and shelter, you don't give a fuck about a slang term somebody used that you think was it. Like, you're just fighting to live. Of course you're upset about the milk that was put in your Starbucks. Your life is phenomenal. Of course you're frustrated that your Wi-Fi's out in your house and you can't watch your Netflix show. Your life is sensational. Of course you're mad about something that somebody said on Twitter. You're not running for your life. People at war. What the fuck? It is Gary Vaynerchuk, and this is Die Hard Dialogue, where we pick a couple of games each week and we let the diehards battle it out. One of those games is always the New York Jets game, because I am the ultimate New York Jets diehard. This is a rare, narrow escalator. I like the narrow. I think it's more efficient. I think escalators are too wide. I think it's a problem. There's a group of us in our age range, East Coast style. I'm 45. I've been trying to tell people I'm a baby.
Look at a little kid, man. You got the best 10 years in front of you.
Where are you? I didn't even realize you were 50.
Coming up on 54. 36, though, mentally.
Yeah.
Mentally.
I'm either, depending on the circumstance, 88 or 12. I'm being serious. I'm telling you, I am. I play in two very extreme realms. One, the tried and true. It is attention arbitrage. Whether it's a fucking song or whether it's TikTok, it is attention arbitrage. There is nothing else. That is the world. And then there's the humanity. Like, I genuinely believe being nice is a better business strategy than not. So there's these things that I would say are religion. They will never change. I'll be 90 on stage and being like, I'm telling you, billboards on the moon, that's the fucking action, because that's where the new attention is. So that's the 88-year-old. The 12-year-old thing is the tactics. Like the actual details of how to win on TikTok. Like when me and D-Rock just went up the escalator and I did something and I turned to him and said, that will do well on TikTok. That's like a skill of the moment. So that's what I do, the macro and the micro.
thousands of pieces of broken records. The theme of it is almost a Last Supper kind of element with, I think, some people that Gary highly values. And so if you'll drop the curtain there.
Ugh, jeez.
It's Tamara, it's Sasha, it's AJ, it's Lizzie, and of course Gary.
Thank you. It's amazing. Thank you so much. Really, it's unbelievable. Dude, thank you so much. It's so kind. I love how everybody has an opinion on NFTs, that they're a scam or they're Beanie Babies or it's a fad without doing an hour of homework. We have become a headline reading, hot take society. That's a bad strategy for actual business. I think you should change it. If you don't understand the concept of smart contracts on decentralized blockchain, it will affect your business in the next 10 years. The 7 people that raised their hands, you can chill a little bit because you're gonna be golfing and drinking margaritas. The rest of you need to really focus on 20 to 50 hours of curiosity and homework. And I hope these minutes together at least gave you a little something to push it through. And I appreciate all of you so much. I wish you well. Thank you. Hi, Megan.
I just
How are
want to
you?
tell you changed my life. I called off my wedding because of you.
Wow.
In a 7-year relationship, I quit my job. I started a new business.
Good for you.
Making 6 figures, and
I'm proud of you.
I'm just such a huge fan.
I'm proud of you.
I'm sorry, no personal conversation.
No, it's okay. It was really worth it. You feel good?
Yeah. I saw a video of yours, and one day just hit me, and I was like, this is not for me.
Good for you.
I'm so fucking unhappy.
Good for you. I'm proud of you.
So much.
Proud of you to have that courage.
Baby girl love my bop and I like me too. No roof on my top and my babe see through. Hating on the pen, don't stop, they ain't gon' feed you. I've been all on my grind, so why I need you.